Hello guys, this is Movie Lover and welcome to this Movie Lover world. This movie begins with Old Man Kree finds a weird golden device. He turns on the switch and it stretches out 6 legs at the bottom right after that its legs insert directly into his skin. He uses all his strength to remove the device from his hand and its legs retract back. His wife gives him a simple bandage and the bleeding stops. However, things are just getting started. At night, Grease suddenly feels extremely thirsty and he drinks all the water in the fridge, looking at the raw meat in the fridge. He even has the desire to eat it directly. The next morning when Grease looks in the mirror, he is surprised to find that many of the wrinkles on his face have disappeared. He suspects that these changes are caused by that golden device, but where did that thing come from anyway? Years ago, a mysterious alchemist made a device called Kronos. With proper use it can give people eternal life. Years later, a strange-looking man was found in a collapsed building, and it was the same alchemist. He was pierced through the chest by debris and soon passed away. Subsequently, the alchemist's personal belongings went into the antique market in various ways. A few days ago, antique dealer Greek bought an angel statue at an auction house. As always, he puts it up for sale in his antique shop at a higher price. On this day, Grease finds cockroaches crawling out of the angel statue. After closer inspection, he discovers that the base of a statue is hollow, so he opens the base and finds the Kronos device. After that, he was injured by the device, and he becomes younger with it. Meanwhile, a billionaire named Guardia is also looking for it. He has been looking for it for years. Guardia learns that Grease shop is selling the angel statue, so he sends his nephew Ron to buy it. The next day when Grease comes to work, he finds that his antique shop has been severely damaged. This is the buyer's revenge against him, since the Kronos device has already been taken out of the statue. Guardia is old, his body is getting weaker and weaker. To gain eternal life, Guardia invites Grease to his house. He intends to make a deal with Grease. Guardia takes out the alchemist's notes and tells Grease about the origin of the Kronos device. It turns out that there is a mysterious insect imprisoned inside the device. When the insect sucks enough blood, it will release a powerful substance that rejuvenates its user. The Kronos device must be used in a proper way, otherwise there will be unimaginable consequences. Guardia continues, saying that he is willing to share half of his wealth if Grease gives him the device. Grease refuses his offer. Back at home, Grease uses the Kronos device again. He is already addicted to it. Then he finds that the injuries the device left on his body heal in less than a minute, which means his body is getting younger. However, Guardia was right. Using the Kronos device does have side effects. The next day, Grease and his wife are attending a New Year's Eve party, and everything is going very well. Just then, a man at the next table suddenly gets a nosebleed, and Grease is surprised to find that he actually has a craving for blood. So he follows the man into the washroom. When the man leaves, Grease gets down and licks the blood that the man dropped on the floor. While Grease is enjoying himself, someone walks in, and then he is not unconscious. He wakes up to find himself kidnapped, and the kidnapper is Guardia's nephew, Ron. Ron asks him to hand over the Kronos device, but Grease refuses to do so. Ron doesn't want Guardia to get eternal life anyway, because then he won't be able to inherit Guardia as well. So Ron knocks Kree out again, puts Green in the car and pushes the car off the cliff. Then he throws down a bottle of wine so the police will think it was an accident caused by a drunk driver. Ron goes back and reports it to Guardia, only to have Guardia beat him up. Guardia explains that anyone who has used the Kronos device will be revived as long as their heart is not pierced. Later, Grease's body is found. The body is transported to the funeral home, and next they are going to cremate it. The cremator starts the furnace and pushes the whole coffin in. However, Grease had long since climbed out of the coffin at the moment. Grease is shocked that the Kronos device can not only make him younger but also revive him. Grease sneaks towards his home, and upon entering he runs into his granddaughter Aurora. Aurora is not scared by his face, and she helps to hide him in the attic. 3 bandages his hand. He needs some rest and thinks about what to do next. In the morning, the sunlight comes in through the holes in the roof, causing his skin to burn. Apparently, this is one of the costs of using the Kronos device. To find a way to turn back into his original form, Grease decides to steal the alchemist's notes from Guardia. Aurora is worried about his grandfather and goes along with him. After some searching they successfully find the notebook in Guardia's house, but the most important page is missing. That's when Guardia appears. It turns out that he knew Kree would come, so he destroyed that page. Kree begs Guardia to tell him the method to turn back into a real human, but Guardia rips off his skin. Underneath his rotten skin is a new pale skin, which is a sign of immortality. Gray panics. He doesn't want to become a blood-sucking monster. Guardia says he will tell him the solution, but first he has to hand over the Chronos device, but just as Creed takes out the Chronos, Guardia stabs him in the stomach. Then Guardia holds him to the ground and aims at his heart. At the critical moment Aurora appears in, saves Grief, and just then Ron rushes over. He finds Guardia on the ground, but instead of saving him, Ron crushes his throat with his foot, and now Ron can finally inherit Guardia's wealth. And when a man owns a great fortune, then the next thing he wants most is to live forever. Ron catches up with Kree, who is clearly no match for him. Kree let Allura go first. Then he holds Ron and jumps with him. After a while Gray comes back to life and finds that his craving for blood becomes even stronger. He doesn't want to be controlled anymore, so he painfully destroys the Chronos device. Back home, Gray dies in the company of his wife and granddaughter, who agree if it wasn't for the Chronos device he might have lived a few more years. Thanks for watching. Movie Lover will meet you again with new story. Till take care.